defining excellence in honors, we look to our mission and values as a university, as a college, and as a Michigan learning community. We look for students who have made the most of their undergraduate liberal arts experience. These honors graduation awards reveal the breadth of study and research opportunities available at the University of Michigan and in the College of Literature, Science, and the Arts. They also reveal students whose work reimagines the world, seeking to solve the problems of today and tomorrow by asking, what have we learned in the social sciences, natural sciences, and humanities? We hope you enjoy this brief view of their work, which represents all-around excellence and outstanding achievements in the honors program.
We are pleased to award the Arthur Miller Creative and Performing Arts Award to Seth Andrews. For his thesis in film, television, and media, Seth wrote a script and show Bible for an 8-episode television dramedy. The series, called Dropouts, is about young creatives who wrestle with the decision of whether to stay in their working-class hometown and attempt to make lives for themselves as artists, or leave for the big city. Seth both edited and directed the outstanding 30-minute pilot episode.
This year's Smail Award in Mathematical Sciences goes to Charlie Devlin. Charlie is an honors mathematics major with a minor in physics. In addition to excelling in the honors math curriculum, Charlie completed research projects in a wide range of topics with U of M professor Ian Tabasco and Stephen Miller at Williams College, as well as with fellow honors math students. Next year, Charlie will begin his PhD in mathematics at the University of Chicago. This year's Hayden Award in the Humanities goes to Evan Binkley. Evan completed his thesis, Destination Congo, Sabina Airlines and the Visual Legacy of Congolese Tourism, in his junior year. Last fall, he completed an internship with the U.S. State Department. He has also interned with the Smithsonian and University of Michigan Museum of Art. Next year, Evan will pursue master's degrees in African art and cultural preservation with the University of London's School of African and Oriental Studies as a Marshall Scholar.
We are pleased to award the Raoul Wallenberg Humanitarian Award to Michael Russo. Double majoring in honors history and Spanish, Michael's thesis was entitled A New Chapter of Engagement, Case Studies of United States Foreign Policy and Human Rights in Central America, focusing on the case studies of Honduras and Guatemala. Outside the classroom, Michael has worked at the Michigan Immigrants' Rights Center, served as the vice president of PALMA, a Spanish-language tutoring group, was an editor for both the Michigan Journal of History and Michigan Daily. Next year, Michael will continue his work through a Vakav Havel Human Rights Fellowship at Perseus Strategies, a public interest international human rights law firm in Washington, D.C.
This year's Marshall Sahlins Award for Social Sciences goes to Zooey Bogart. Double majoring in honors anthropology and global health, Zooey completed her thesis, Forms of Care, Understanding Patients and Providers in a Safety Net Clinic in Southeast Michigan, under the direction of Scott Stonington, Professor of Medical Anthropology and Internal Medicine. Professor Stonington was so impressed with not only the brilliant theoretical contributions of her ethnography, but also its practical implications, that he arranged for Zooey to present her findings to the attending physicians, nurses, and social workers at the clinic. We are pleased to award the Carl Physical Sciences Award to Xiaowei O, a double major in honors physics and astrophysics. Xiaowei's thesis, Vanadium Abundance Measurements in 255 Metal Poor Stars, was presented at the Winter 2020 meeting of the American Astronomical Society and has been submitted as a first authored paper in the Astrophysical Journal, a premier publication in his field. Next year, Xiaowei will pursue his PhD in astrophysics at MIT. This year's Nurenberg Lifesciences Award goes to Jeremy De Silva. Majoring in honors mathematics, Jeremy has completed research projects on a wide range of topics, including modeling the 2014 Ebola outbreak in West Africa with U of M Professor of Epidemiology Marissa Eisenberg, cancer biology with U of M Professor of Pathology Raoul, and stochastic models of reaction networks with Professor Andreas Hilfinger at the University of Toronto. Next year, Jeremy will work with renowned mathematical biologist and cancer researcher Trevor Graham at Queen Mary, University of London, before beginning his PhD at Stanford.
This year's Gerald Ford Award for Public Policy is presented to Marissa Meyer in Honors Psychology. Marissa's thesis, Exploring the Role of Digital Play in Child Development, focuses on the impact of parents' education on mobile device use and children's executive function development. The work is already having a significant impact on policies surrounding regulation of children's mobile apps. Marissa's work has been featured on NPR, and complaints against app makers filed with the Federal Trade Commission is being used by the California legislature to improve regulations and was just included in Senator Markey's Kids Internet Design and Safety Act.
We are pleased to present the Virginia Voss Creative Writing Award in Journalism to Zofia Furki. Zofia is graduating with a double major in German and honors creative writing in the residential college. Her advisor, Susan Rosegrant, called Zofia's honors thesis, entitled Woman with a Can Opener, a remarkable achievement, a broad-ranging collection of personal essays that shine a light on some of life's most pressing issues.
The Virginia Voss Creative Writing Award in Prose goes to Hannah Brower. Hannah's honors thesis, Modern Love, owes its inspiration to the New York Times column by the same name, a weekly series of essays that explores contemporary love through sharply told individual experiences. While all of the pieces were linked by the theme of modern love, the relationships explored ranged from the romantic to the familial to love for our earth. The final product was an exquisitely detailed graphical e-magazine that one reviewer noted is ready for publication.
The Voss Award for Academic Writing goes to Kellen McKnight in English Creative Writing and Literature. Kellen's thesis, What is to be Nothing But Mad? Documenting Madness Through Hamlet, is, in the words of her thesis advisor, Scotty Parrish, a wonderfully epic and wonderfully witty dual exploration of the history of madness as filtered through commentary on Shakespeare's tragedy Hamlet, and, simultaneously, a reading of Hamlet through the lens of the history of psychological constructs.
We are pleased to award the Voss Award for Poetry to Lynne Beck from the Residential Program's Creative Writing and Literature major. Sarah Messner, her thesis advisor, writes that Lynne's collection of poems, entitled The Red Bull Diaries, is an enormously ambitious three-part book that ranges from sonnets to ghazals to love songs for her native Lebanon, to dark, almost fairy tale-like descriptions of childhood trauma and abuse, to freedom itself in a classic American road trip saga, tipping this typically masculine trope right on its head.
John P. Kennedy, an alumnus of the Honors Program, has provided two generous gifts to acknowledge and support excellence in writing and scholarship, each in honor of one of his parents. Named in honor of Mr. Kennedy's mother, the Patricia Kennedy Award goes to Lorraine Furtado, who is graduating in Philosophy, Politics, and Economics, or PPE. Lorraine wrote a fabulous honors thesis tracking changes in how women's rights have been invoked in reproductive rights court cases. In her thesis, Lorraine used machine learning to analyze the language of all 615 briefs written to the United States Supreme Court on reproductive rights cases. The thesis demonstrates Lorraine's highly advanced methodological skills combined with a deep ethical and political sensibility about her topic.
This year's John Kennedy Award goes to Matthew Yodis in English Creative Writing and Literature. Matthew's thesis, Persecutatory Chaucer, Revelatory Chaucer, Mimetic Theory, and the Double-Voiced Satire of the Prioress's Tale, draws on interdisciplinary sources including literary theory about satire, historical scholarship regarding medieval anti-Semitism, and Girard's anthropological theory regarding violence and the sacred. The result is, in the words of his thesis advisor Carla Taylor, a close reading of the tale as a double-voiced text with an invented speaker who perpetuates a persecutory myth made more monstrous by her tale's sheer aesthetic beauty, and behind her a poet who uses dissonant moments to trigger readers' skepticism toward the beautiful myth.
We are pleased to award the Donna Wessel Walker Award, which is given in recognition of outstanding service to the LSA Honors Program, to Evan Swinehart. Evan is graduating from the Gerald R. Ford School of Public Policy with a BA in Public Policy. Evan will begin his 2 years of service with the Jesuit Volunteer Corps in the Federated States of Micronesia, continuing to teach and serve young people at Xavier High School. Evan has served honors in every possible way throughout his 4 years here at Michigan, doing everything from serving as an honors residential advisor to being a loyal member of the program and staff. His tireless efforts and thoughtful work have made hundreds of honors students feel welcomed to honors in the University of Michigan.
In closing, on behalf of the LSA Honors Program, please accept our appreciation to those who continue to support outstanding students through these award opportunities. Thank you, go blue, and go safe.